Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. We're in the middle of a self-care challenge, and for tomorrow, I want to say no fried foods. To not have any oil. It's not easy. A lot of people live in a food desert, if you will, where there's only fast food around, and the only way to prepare fast food is to fry it. But I'm still going to challenge you to find something, right? Non-fried. Now, that doesn't mean there might not be oil in like your, peanut butter or something, but no intentional oil for tomorrow. Don't add it to your food. Don't add it to your salad. Don't fry anything. Can you do it? I know some of you can, but it's a challenge for others. It really is. I'm going to help you out by sharing an article on Healthline. That is labeled, let's see what the title was. The title was, my gosh, hold on a second. Somehow this is not anywhere near the title. Okay, are vegetable and seed oils bad for your health? I appreciate that they say seed oil as well, because a lot of people have bought into the gimmick of like flaxseed. I mean, flax is so good. Flaxseed oil must be better. Avocado is so healthy, so avocado oil must be so good for you. Grapeseed oil must be so good for you. And yet the counter argument is that oil is 100% fat, no matter what. And fat clogs our arteries, right? So even if it's healthy oil, as is often the case, something is making me sneeze. Oh my goodness. So bear with me if I'm pausing in between. But this is by Healthline. They're one of my favorites, even though they often refer to testing on animals, which I don't like. But what I do like about them is that if you're not a reader, you can just skip through the summaries. And at the end, they tend to have a bottom line. And I am a bottom line kind of girl. So I do appreciate that. So are vegetable and seed oils bad for your health? Let's get on. The consumption of vegetable oils has increased dramatically in the past century. I think it's an understatement of the year. Most mainstream health professionals consider them healthy, but vegetable oils may cause health problems. Their health effects vary depending on what fatty acids they contain, what plants they are extracted from, and how they are processed. This article looks at the evidence to determine if vegetable and seed oils are bad for your health. Just one second. This is bugging me to death. All the pop-ups. God, it's so hard to get any information anymore, right? It makes me long for libraries, honestly. So it reads, what are they and how are they made? Edible oils extracted from plants are commonly known as vegetable oils, and that's a hyperlink you can click on for more information. In addition to their use in cooking and baking, they're found in processed foods, including salad dressings, margarines, mayonnaise, and cookies. Common vegetable oils include soybean oil, sunflower oil, olive oil, and coconut oil. Refined vegetable oils were not available until the 20th century, when the technology to extract them became available. These are extracted from plants using either a chemical solvent or oil mill. Then they are often purified, refined, and sometimes chemically altered. Health-conscious consumers prefer oils that are made by crushing or pressing plants or seeds rather than those processed using chemicals. Straight up, right? Summary. Edible plant oils are commonly known as vegetable oils. The oil is often extracted with chemical solvents or by crushing or pressing the plants or their seeds. Consumption has increased drastically. In the past century, the consumption of vegetable oils has increased at the expense of other fats, like butter. They are often labeled heart healthy and recommended as an alternative to sources of saturated fat, such as butter, lard, or tallow. The reason vegetable oils are considered heart healthy is that studies consistently link polyunsaturated fat to a reduced risk of heart problems compared with saturated fat, meaning neither are necessarily healthy, but one is less healthy than the other. Like, that's the only way I can say it. Despite their potential health benefits, some scientists are worried about how much of these oils people are consuming. These concerns mostly apply to oils that contain contain a lot of omega-6 fats, as explained in the next chapter. Okay, so in summary, the consumption of vegetable oils increased drastically in the last century. While some vegetable oils have been linked to health benefits, there are concerns about the excessive intake of omega-6. And, for me, I don't want to use any any animal products. But at the same time, with the understanding that fake butter is even more detrimental to your health, right? Because some even argue it contains plastics in it. Maybe a little bit of butter, and I don't know if it can be secured humanely. Certainly, like small personal farms or families probably can do that, as opposed to industrial farming, right? Anyway, I just know that anything closer to the original product is best for your health, even if it's not ideal for your health. Okay, so find the diet that's right. No, sorry. You may want to avoid vegetable oils high in omega-6. It's important to note that not all plant oils are bad for your health. For example, coconut oil and olive oil are both excellent choices. Again, no oil is ideal, but if you're going to pick one, you may want coconut oil, which gets very hot when cooking, or olive oil, which is better to put on top like salad dressings and things like that. Though I did see that they just created an olive oil for cooking, which means it's just more chemical-laden nonsense, right? Consider avoiding the following plant oils due to the high omega-6 content: soybean oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, sunflower oil, peanut oil, sesame oil, rice bran oil, all because of high omega-6 content. And those by far the most popular: corn oil and sunflower oil are by far the most common in every product. Both omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids are essential fatty acids, meaning that you need some of them in your diet because your body can't produce them. Throughout evolution, humans got omega-3 and omega-6 in certain ratio. While this ratio differed between populations, it's estimated to have been 1-to-1. However, in the past century or so, this ratio and the Western diet has shifted dramatically and maybe as high as 20-to-1. Yeah, that's how crazy we've gotten. Scientists have hypothesized that too much omega-6 relative to omega-3 may contribute to chronic inflammation, which is causing so much pain in everybody's bodies. It's so sad. Chronic inflammation is an underlying factor in some of the most common Western diseases, such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and arthritis. Observational studies have also associated a high intake of omega-6 fat to an increased risk of obesity, heart disease, arthritis, and inflammatory bowel disease. No surprise they go hand in hand, right? Because the more you're consuming of fried foods and things, inevitably you're going to become more obese. And then at that same time, all of that in your body is creating that insane inflammation. However, these associations don't necessarily imply a causal relationship, but I disagree. Studies investigating the effects of omega-6 consumption generally do not support the idea that these fats increase inflammation. You know what? They have hyperlinks for all of these to find the evidence. Follow the money trail, right? Whenever you follow the money trail, you'll find out who's behind suggesting that it's not a problem. For instance, eating a lot of linoleic acid, which is the most common omega-6 fat, doesn't appear to affect blood levels of inflammatory markers. Scientists do not fully understand what effects omega-6 fats have on the body, and more studies are needed. However, if you are concerned, avoid oils or margarine that contain oils high in omega-6 fats. Olive oil is a good example of healthy cooking oil that's low in omega-6, and yet I've read a zillion times that it is not recommended that you heat olive oil. Summary: some vegetable oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids. Scientists have hypothesized that eating too much omega-6 can lead to increased inflammation in the body and potentially contribute to disease. These oils are easily oxidized. Saturated Unsaturated or polyunsaturated fats differ by the number of double bonds their chemical structures contain. Saturated fats, no double bonds. Monosaturated fats, one double bond. Polyunsaturated fats, two or more double bonds. The problem with polyunsaturated fats is that all these double bonds make them susceptible to oxidation. The fatty acids react with oxygen in the atmosphere and start deteriorating. The fat you eat isn't only stored as fat tissue or burned for energy, it also is incorporated into the cell membranes. That's the scary part. It's not just moving through your body, it's becoming part of your body. If you have a lot of polyunsaturated fatty acids in your body, your cell membranes are more sensitive to oxidation. In short, you have a very high level of fragile fatty acids that can easily be degraded to form harmful compounds. For this reason, it may be best to eat polyunsaturated fats in moderation. Vary your diet by eating a mix of healthy saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated fats. Summary: oils that are high in polyunsaturated fats are susceptible to oxidation both on the shelf and inside your body. They are sometimes high in trans fats. Commercial vegetable oils may also contain trans fats, which form when oils are hydrogenated. Food producers use hydrogenation to harden vegetable oils, making them solid like butter at room temperature. For this reason, vegetable oils found in margarine are commonly hydrogenated and full of trans fats. However, trans fat-free margarine is becoming an increasingly popular choice. However, non-hydrogenated vegetable oils may also contain some trans fats. One source looked at vegetable oils in the United States and discovered, no surprise, that their trans fat contents varied between 0.56% and 4.2%, which is significant. A high intake of trans fats is associated with all sorts of chronic diseases, including heart disease, obesity, cancer, and diabetes. If a product lists hydrogenated oil as an ingredient, it likely contains trans fat. For optimal health, avoid these products. Summary: hydrogenated vegetable oils are high in trans fats, which have been associated with various health problems. They are found in certain types of margarine, ice cream, and cookies. Vegetable oils and heart disease. Health professionals often recommend vegetable oils for those at risk of heart disease. The reason is that vegetable oils are generally low in saturated fat and high in polyunsaturated fat. The benefits of reducing saturated fat intake are controversial. However, studies show that replacing saturated fat with polyunsaturated fat reduces the risk of heart problems by 17%. But it has no significant effects on the risk of death from heart disease. So it doesn't reduce your chance of dying. Furthermore, omega-3 polyunsaturated fat acids appear to have a greater benefit than omega-6. Nutritionists have raised concerns about the high amounts of omega-6 found in some vegetable oils. However, there's currently no solid evidence showing that omega-6 fats affect the risk of heart disease. In conclusion, a moderate intake of vegetable oil seems to be safe. But if you wish to reduce your risk of heart disease, you may not want to partake. Olive oil may be one of your best options if you do choose to. In summary, vegetable oils appear to be heart-friendly. While some nutritionists are worried about the high levels of omega-6 in certain oils, there's currently no evidence that they raise the risk of heart disease. Bottom line. I'm a bottom line girl. Just give me the bottom line. Vegetable oils generally seem to be a healthy source of fat. Hydrogenated vegetable oils that are high in unhealthy trans fats are an exception to this. Some nutritionists are also concerned about the high amounts of polyunsaturated omega-6 fats found in certain vegetable oils. Olive oil is an excellent example of a healthy vegetable oil that's low in omega-6. It might be one of your best options. But again, no oil would be best, because honestly, an olive is not oil, right? The oil is derived from the processing of that olive. Avocado oil derived from the processing of that whole fruit, avocado. And grapeseed processed by, again and again and again. So As little as possible is the best idea there. You know, Freely, the banana girl, who's also known as the frugivore diet, she always refers to it as lamp oil. She's like, what are you consuming lamp oil for? She was like, 100 years ago, all they used that for was to light their lamps. Why are you consuming it? Classic. Anyway, just consider, just consider, do you really need that? I used to think when I would have cheese, and of course, don't forget, there's foods like cheese and things that contain a ton of oil, even though we're not thinking of oil in itself, right? So many things. I was having a party with my students the other day, and they had gotten some, like fire hot Cheetos, and I had put a bunch out on the different napkins, and before it was even served, those napkins were coated in oil, like just as much as you would see in a slice of pizza. It was astounding. I mean, what a reality check, right? Because again, no one's really thinking of oil as the key component in those chips, but was it ever? So again, oil is in a lot of different foods if you're not having it in your purest form. And if you are having it in the purest form, you really want a teaspoon as opposed to, an entire tablespoon, which is often the recommended serving and averages about 120 calories. It depends, but it's usually about 120 calories. All right, my friends, that's the story. How can you better take care of yourself? And I'm going to challenge you to be off the oil for tomorrow, even the hidden oils in different foods. Like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. And until we talk again, best of all, getting off the oils is a great idea, and you'd be blessed.